Hello GameSpot viewers, this is Kevin Van Ord and I'm sitting here with Brandon Zion and we are going to take a look at Dark Souls PC. And Brandon, you are showing off some brand new stuff that we haven't seen on Dark Souls PC. Tell us about where we are and what it is that we're doing at this stage.
No problem. So yes, as was mentioned, this is all new content in Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition for the PC. We're currently in the Ulasal Sanctuary, which is one of the new areas in the game. We just beat the Chimera boss, which is the Sanctuary Guardian. If you guys have seen our trailers up online, you're very familiar with this boss. This boss was also in our E3 demos. It's the Chimera-looking creature with the scorpion tail.
Right.
So this is right after that, and I've entered into this area, and I'm coming up to the first new NPC in the game. This is Elizabeth, the Sanctuary Guardian, basically the Sanctuary Keeper, if you will. The Sanctuary Guardian was the boss that I just killed.
Sure. And she's got some items for sale. Anything in particularly unusual in the Prepare to Die edition?
No, just the standard stuff, like some more miracles, some more essentially items that you can find somewhere else. Nothing new within this character, but it's just something that we've added to the game to give it more of a variety. There are some things that I don't want to ruin for you and spoil and open the menu to see.
Sure.
You'll have to see that when you get the game, but it's just it's making it feel as if there's actually a lot more content. It's not like we just tacked on a couple bosses and called it a day. There's actual dialogue, there's story, there's things added to the game which make it important, so it doesn't feel like it's a tack on.
Sure. Now, how much can you say about where we are in the world, how far we are into the game, and so on and so forth, in order to get to the Sanctuary?
So we haven't announced how to get to the Sanctuary. However, we have talked about that. So Knight Artorias of the Abyss, if you guys have seen our cover art, that's the character on the front of the cover. It's also the character in the last few frames of our last trailer. You've been sent back into time, so you've essentially warped back into this area of time where it's into the life of that Knight Artorias to see how he was. So essentially all of this new content is driven towards that character and the story around him.
Now this is surely a new enemy. I've never seen this before.
This is a new wooden scarecrow. I've upset him in him doing his gardening with his pitchfork. So I'm just going to try to take him out really quickly. These guys, I mean, as you can see, my character is pretty beefed up. I'm hitting them like 447 that hit was. So essentially, it's easier than it should be at this point in the game. I mean, I can show you my character stat menu. I'm like 50s across the board. I've kind of jacked it up a little bit. So it makes it easier for me to get through for demo purposes, but there obviously are, this is going to be a heck of a lot harder when you encounter this yourself.
So you have retained, of course, the famous Dark Souls difficulty curve here.
Yes, the difficulty's there. Definitely a fine-tuned gameplay balance. So the balance between being extremely frustrating and extremely difficult is what From Software strives to achieve. And I really feel like, I mean, I would consider myself a hardcore Dark Souls player. I've beat the game several times on NG+. And I would say that this is perfectly balanced within that aspect and range, if you will.
Now this knight here, does he have a particular name? You're in trouble.
This is a Stone Knight. I'm going to hit my last Divine Blessing. I'm probably going to be in trouble from here on out. This is just a Stone Knight. Just a Stone Knight coming through, trying to pummel me. So I'm going to run away from him, and I want to get to Artorias and show you guys that boss, because it's a really cool boss fight.
Now, when I was playing and I encountered that Stone Knight, I approached him as I did some of the knights in the original Dark Souls release, and it's worth noting that he's got something a little special that keeps him from being quite as predictable. We'll say, when he pulls his weapon out of the ground, he does an amazing amount of damage.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, you have to be very strategic. Like that whole area that I kind of just skipped through with debug. You have to go very slow. Like you cannot go quickly through that area, because before you know it, you're going to have like 5 stone guards, 6 wooden scarecrows, and you're dead. Yep. It's all about being very methodical. Pull your mobs. Do not aggro too many, otherwise you're doomed. So we've arrived here at Knight Artorias' domain. I'm gonna cross through the fog, and you're gonna see a boss intro. I'll let it play, and then I'll start talking after that.
That's a pretty spectacular introduction.
Okay, so this boss, this guy, he's extremely quick. I mean, if you remember Lord Gwyn from the old content, he was very quick in his attacks. I'm not going to say that this is the same as Lord Gwyn, but it's the closest in terms of the speed. But I would say this guy is a lot more difficult. As you can see, like my stats are boosted, and I'm getting one-hitted. All my stamina's dropping off. I'm trying to avoid his lunging attacks. He's very quick. All the kind of like the purple goo that inflicts damage. I mean, it doesn't poison me or curse me or anything like that, but it does inflict damage. Oops.
Easy to do in the heat of the moment.
Yes, it is. It's easy to go to access debug in the heat of the moment.
And thus proof that the Prepare to Die edition will not skimp on the difficulty.
And it will not. And if I do manage to beat Knight Artorias, there's an entirely new area after that, the Ulasal Township. You basically you delve deep into the center of Lordran, and then there's new mobs. There's these ghost characters, chained prisoners. You're going to be ending with another boss that we haven't announced yet, the last boss of the new content. Along the way, there's also a black dragon, which is kind of like a side boss. You guys are familiar with, the Dark Souls game. There's always side bosses that you don't have to do in order to beat the content. There is that, and then there's also Hawkeye Go, which is another NPC, which is a giant that you're going to see at the end of our Gamescom trailer. So keep an eye out for that.
Great.
So as I mentioned, or I'm not sure if I mentioned, but previously, the game releases August 24th for digital download, Steam and the likes, other sources as well, worldwide. North America, digital only, Europe, digital, and retail.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, GameSpot viewers, thanks for joining in and taking a look at Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition.
Thank you.